Let's say somebody has positioned themselves well. Most of our clients that we deal with on a regular basis are 35 to 80 years old, very different age groups for retiring and needs and timelines. Risk tolerance probably also differs wildly. When you're looking at that, do you have a paradigm or maybe a compass that people could follow that would help them figure out how to diversify their assets or make allocations to most benefit them, or questions that you normally ask clients?
Yes, definitely. So, your point about risk tolerance is a good one. And it's kind of funny. When I was on the traditional asset side, obviously that was always, you always talked about risk tolerance, whether they're from, risk averse or very much risk on. And of course, within couples and marriages, people were in different places. You can kind of get a sense just from talking to somebody for a few minutes, kind of like what their risk tolerance was. When I came over to the digital asset side, and obviously our clients all hold some amount of digital assets. And we have clients who are 100% of their net worth is in digital assets. And you ask them, do you feel like you're conservative or aggressive? And they will say, I feel like I'm a conservative investor. So back to the paradigm, it's very much a perspective thing on the risk side, because if you have conviction in an asset, to you, that doesn't seem risky, but right to a financial planner, when we talk about, again, having to generate cash flow and like our retirement plans, depending on how old you are, and majority of people we build plans for, like you said, 40s, 50s, 60s, we're planning for another 50 plus years potentially, right? Where you have to be able to live off of those assets. And while I would love to say that I can see the future, we have to be prepared for all types of eventualities. So yeah, when a client comes to us and, really the first question, even aside from the risk tolerance, goes back to like goals. Like the bones of any financial plan revolve around the client's goals and what they want to accomplish. Like, what does retirement look like to them? What type of cash flow do they think they need? So when we have those pieces, those help define the cash flow needs over time. And some of those goals are like one-time lump sum cash outflows. But we can put those into a plan. We can then plan for those cash flows. And then that helps, again, dictate to us what does a good allocation look like to be able to meet those goals over time. Because there's going to be short-term goals, like inside 1 year. There's going to be called medium-term goals, 5 years or less, something like that. And then there's going to be longer-term goals, which is 5, 10 years out. And we want to make sure we're positioned to be able to provide cash flow for all of those time frames. And again, that will then sort of circle back to, okay, what portfolio allocation, what asset classes should we hold? Where is the cash flow coming from? And of course, clients come to us with an existing portfolio, whether it is all digital assets, whether it's a combination of traditional assets and digital assets. Maybe they have a large real estate portfolio. So in some cases, we can make changes in the short term, especially in retirement accounts and things like that. We can provide guidance, but it's at the end of the day, it's the client's decision.